In a small town nestled between rolling hills and quiet rivers, there lived a young man named Ethan. He was 22, full of dreams bigger than the sky, but his life was drowning in self-doubt. From childhood, Ethan wanted to be an artist. He loved colors, paints, and brushes more than anything else. While other children ran outside to play, Ethan would sit by the window sketching sunsets, trees, and faces. His dream was to one day share his paintings with the world, to make people feel emotions through his art. But as he grew older, life's reality struck him hard. His father worked long hours at a factory, his mother cleaned houses to support the family. They barely managed to put food on the table. Every time Ethan picked up his brush, a voice in his head whispered, "Art won't pay the bills. You'll never make it. Look at your parents suffering. How can you think of painting?" These voices became louder when he failed in small competitions, or when people laughed at his dream. Slowly, doubt began to eat away at his heart. He still dreamed, but his canvas remained blank. One evening, Ethan sat in his tiny room. The floor was littered with unfinished sketches, half-dried paints, and crumpled papers. His head sank into his hands, and for the first time, he whispered to himself, "Maybe I should give up. Maybe art isn't for me. Maybe I'm just wasting my life." Tears rolled down his cheeks. It was the darkest night of his young life. But sometimes, when the night is darkest, even a small light can save us. That light came in the form of his grandfather, Mr. Thomas, who quietly stepped into the room. He was a retired schoolteacher, a man of wisdom and patience. He looked at Ethan's trembling hands and broken spirit and asked softly, "Ethan, why are you crying?" "I can't do it, Grandpa," Ethan said, his voice heavy. "I dreamed of becoming an artist, but maybe I'm not good enough. Everyone says I'll fail. Maybe they're right. I should stop before it's too late." Grandpa Thomas remained silent for a moment, then picked up one of Ethan's unfinished sketches from the floor. It was a half-drawn portrait of a child. Though incomplete, it carried so much raw emotion that it almost looked alive. "Ethan," he said gently, "do you see this picture? Even though it's not finished, I can feel the heart you poured into it. Do you know why it touches me? Because it's yours. Nobody else can create this. Not me, not your father, not the people who laugh at you. Only you. If you give up now, the world will never see what only you can give." Ethan looked up, confused. "But Grandpa, what if I try and still fail? What if I waste years chasing a dream that was never meant for me?" The old man placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "My boy, the greatest failure in life is not falling down. The greatest failure is never trying. Do you know the saddest words a man can say at the end of his life?" Ethan shook his head. Grandpa whispered, "I wish I had tried." "Ethan, wake up before it's too late. Don't let your dreams die while you're still alive. You have a gift, and gifts are not meant to be buried." That night, Ethan could not sleep. His grandfather's words echoed in his mind, "Wake up before it's too late." The next morning, instead of throwing away his brushes, Ethan picked them up with renewed determination. His hands still shook, but he began to paint again, this time not for approval, not for competitions, not for money, but because painting was who he was. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Ethan painted tirelessly. Every failure became a lesson, every criticism became fuel. He worked after his part-time job, sometimes late into the night, with only a candle lighting his canvas. Slowly, people began to notice. His friends admired his dedication. His art teacher praised his unique style. Eventually, he displayed his paintings at a small local exhibition. To his surprise, people were deeply moved. Some even bought his artwork. But more than the applause, what mattered most was how Ethan felt inside. For the first time in years, he felt alive. One evening, after the exhibition, Ethan sat with his grandfather. Tears filled his eyes again, but this time they were not of despair, they were tears of gratitude. "Grandpa," he said, "thank you for stopping me that night. If I had given up, would have buried my dream forever. Now I understand what you meant. Failure isn't the end, giving up is. I will never give up again." Grandpa Thomas smiled. "Good, my boy. Always remember, dreams don't work unless you do. But when you give your heart, when you keep moving forward, life will open doors you never imagined. The world doesn't need another copy, it needs the original you." Years later, Ethan became a successful artist, his paintings displayed not only in his town but in cities across the country. His story inspired many young dreamers who were on the edge of giving up. Whenever he was invited to speak, he always told them the same thing.